Mr. Lewis, and the leading of the Pledge of Allegiance by Vice President Ms. Barris.
I don't have my list. I'll tell you what, we'll do it this way. Mr. Honore, Mrs. Barra, Mr. Lee Meyer,
Here.
Ms. Fletcher Mickens, Mr. Josh Hebert,
Here.
Mr. Daniel Washington, Mrs. Bambi Hood,
Here.
Ms. Cooney, Ms. Dot. Mr. President, you have a quorum?
Thank you, sir.
Dear God, we thank you for this day. We particularly thank you, dear Lord, for shielding us with your kindness, your goodness, and your mercy. Please, dear Lord, give us the wisdom, the understanding, and the leadership to make good decisions here today, decisions that will positively impact our district, those the students within, and all our parishioners. Teach us, dear Lord, how to be transparent and accountable to all those who look upon us. We thank you, my Father, for being there for us when times were rough. And please, I ask that you embrace all our community, all our properties with your loving arm of protection. I thank you, dear Lord, once again, these and many blessings. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Need a motion to adopt the agenda? Moved by Mr. Washington,
Second.
second by Ms. Hood. All in favor? Under consent agenda, item C, approved transcript of school board member requirements for 2023 and present certificates. And item D, adopt school board meeting training resolution. I need a motion. Moved by Ms. Cooney, second by Ms. Barra. All in favor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Every year, our school board members are required to attend specific trainings, which equals at least 6 hours. And I am proud to announce that our school board members have met the requirements. Not only have they met the requirements, but they have went above and beyond the required trainings for this upcoming school year. And I'll read this resolution. Whereas each member of a city and parish school board shall receive a minimum of 6 hours of training and instruction, as required by Act 705 of the 2011 Louisiana Legislature. Whereas this training and instruction shall consist of laws of this state, laws of governing powers, duties and responsibilities of city and parish school boards, educational trends, research, and policy. And whereas such instruction may be received from an institution of higher education in this state, from instruction sponsored by the State Department of Education, or by an in-service training program conducted by a city or parish school board central office, or the Louisiana School Board Association, or training provided at the national level. And whereas each member of a city and parish school board shall receive 1 hour of ethics training per year of their tenure as board member. Now therefore it be resolved that it had become public record that Andrea Barras, Doris Duga, Joshua Hebert, Bambi Hood, Honore Lewis, Lee Meyer Jr., Electa Fletcher Mickens, Jessica Orso, Daniel Washington, members of the Assumption Parish School Board, have successfully received and exceeded the 6 hours of required training as mandated by the legislature of Louisiana, and all school board members have fulfilled the mandate of 1 hour of ethics training for the year of 2023.
Thank you.
I just also would like to say, we have certified members, and these certified members went above and beyond, and to be considered a certified member, you would have to receive at least 20 hours of training. And I'll go down the list. Currently, right now, we have Mrs. Barra. She obtained 36 hours of training. Mr. Hebert, 60 hours of training. Mrs. Hood, 35.25 hours of training. Mr. Lewis, 51 hours of training. And Ms. Arso, 20.25 hours of training. I think it's worthy of a round of applause.
If I will, Mr. President, before we approve the consent agenda, I am indeed proud and honored to receive this certificate for training. And it's my commitment to this district, to Assumption Parish Schools, our parishioners, and being accountable and transparent in the process. But as glad as I am for this recognition, I'm just as pleased and proud of our two newest board members, Ms. Hood and Mr. Hebert. Let me tell you, in 3 years from now, this board gonna replace 2/3 of the seated members up here right now. That's 6 of us. In January 2027, 3 years from now, you two guys gonna be up here along with Mr. Myers with 6 new guys. And I can tell you, they're gonna come here with a lot of questions, and they're gonna be looking for you guys for answers. I recall back in 2010 when me and Mr. Jack came on board 14 years ago, I was wide-eyed just like these young girls gonna be. And Mr. Howell at the time was keeper of the gavel, so I relied a lot on him. Outgoing superintendent back then with Mr. Pardon me, skip my name there. What's his name there? Tibbet Martinez. And also Mr. Lee Myers Sr., and of course Mr. John Beck, because I knew John from way back when. And they had a lot of questions and answers, little simple things like, what is LSBA? What is a Trailblazer Conference? What is a S-class legislative session? And something simple as an action item that's on the agenda. I asked all those questions, so I can tell you guys, you're going to be inundated with all those questions 3 years from now. And you're going to look around and you're going to say, oh, I don't know him, I don't know her. But I applaud you all for going out and chasing these CEUs, because when you bring a lot back to the district, you could govern better. And that's what I learned over the years that I've been on this board. So again, thank the two of you for this quest, and I ask that you implore you to continue that quest to go out there and seek CEUs, because you're going to make the district better, and I know you're going to be accountable and transparent in the process. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, I think we've spent a lot of time together, you and I, throughout the year, and you've been a kind of a shoulder to lean on with questions too. So it's been great meeting everybody in the state and around, and going to some of these conferences with y'all, your leadership teams and teachers, and that SPED conference we went to with the SPED department, and being with y'all in those conferences, learning stuff and taking it back here to have good conversation. It's been a pleasure this last year. So thank you in particular, Mr. Honore. Thank you very much for the guidance. Yeah.
I need a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
On reports and recognition, receive administration personnel report. We've all got that in the packets. We can read it at our leisure. Item B, adopt a resolution declaring January 2024 Louisiana School Board Member Recognition Month. Like to say a few words on that, Doc?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. The resolution reads as such. Whereas the mission of public schools is to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and to empower them to become competent, productive contributors to a democratic society in an ever-changing world. And whereas local school board members are committed to children and believe that all children can be successful learners and that their best education is tailored to the individual needs of the child. And whereas local school board members work closely with parents, educational professionals, and other community members to create the environment, the educational vision where we want our students to attend. Whereas local school board members are responsible for ensuring a structure that provides a solid foundation for our school system. And whereas local school board members are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectations to the school district. Now therefore it be resolved that I, John Bartholomew, the superintendent, do hereby declare my appreciation to the members of the Assumption Parish School Board and proclaim January 2024 as School Board Recognition Month in Assumption Parish. I urge all citizens to join me in recognizing the dedication and hard work of local school board members and in working with them to mold the educational system that meets the needs of both today's and tomorrow's children. And I just want to say thank you to the board. I know that we have grown tremendously together. Also, I've seen the work that you all put in on a daily basis between the phone calls and the questions and the ideas and solutions that you all present to me for me to carry my work out in my office. So I'm deeply, deeply, truthfully honored to be here. And I want to say thank you for the great work that you do. And 1 month does not do you any justice because this job is 24/7, 365. You know, we constantly trying to make decisions on behalf of our school system and our school employees. So again, from my office, we want to thank you.
Need a motion to adopt the resolution? Moved by Ms. Hood, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Item C, adopt LSBA Code of Conduct for Louisiana School Board members. You have anything on that? Moved by Mr. Apex, second by Ms. Hood. All in favor?
Aye.
Item D, recognize and honor board members for achieving 2023 Certified School Board Member designation.
So I do have certificates. I'm going to wait for you to.
Go ahead.
Which is the recognition. All right. So I do have certificates for everyone. So if you don't mind, we'd like to step down for all of the certified school board members that I announced earlier.
Yeah, you certified.
Certified.
I made it last year. I'm missing this. How that go? Works. Wait for me.
Five.
So y'all was picture night. Yeah, I should have said it was picture night. Hey, Dad. Ms. Hood. Mr. Honorary.
Open it up. Thank you.
And if anyone would like to say any words, y'all.
You know, when we go to all these trainings, you know, it's not all about partying and enjoying ourselves like that. We do get to network with other districts from around Louisiana, particular district in our region, Region 1. And some of the things you hear all the time is, you know, what's going on in your district. You know, we having issues like busing and getting certified teachers and try to retain certified teachers and all that stuff, you know. So it's a lot of work. And, you know, you're throwing a lot of stuff at you at one time, and while it's all good for you, you know, it's just hard to retain all that stuff. So you got to try to keep up with it, you know, as best you can on a daily basis and everything. Unlike my cohort over here, Josh, I see Josh, he have his little pad out. You need to take copious amounts of notes, you know. I'll tell you, my first 4 years, he reminded me so much of me, my first 4 years on the board. I was just like that because, again, with all the information you have, it's just too much to retain, you know. But it is good. It's a lot of hard work, and it's very time consuming and it's fast paced, as everybody on this podium could tell you, you know. So again, this is an accomplishment that I've always strived for. That was my one goal when I got on the board, to be very visible in the district and be accountable, you know. So thank you all for being here to enjoy this recognition with me and the rest of my board members.
Okay, under policies and procedure, authorize the superintendent to schedule a committee meeting on February 7th, 2024 at 5 p.m. to receive reorganizational proposal. Need a motion? Moved by Ms. Kuhn, second by Ms. Hood. All in favor?
Aye.
Under budget, receive audit results.
I want to thank Mr. Darrow, his office, for gathering all of the documents and everything that Mr. Scheck-Snyder needs, and his team for doing an outstanding job, very thorough, very informative, and I'm super excited to announce, and he'll go into more details, but for the first time the board is seeing this in our public, I just want to let everybody know we had a clean audit, 100% clean audit this year, so super excited about that, and I know Mr. Mike, he's going to go into details about some findings. Some details about the audit.
So I'll present the summary of the audit results. You're required to have an audit every year under federal and Louisiana law. This is for the year ended June 30th, 2023. I'm going to go through a summary. The document is quite long because we have to present with accounting standards and compliance with federal and state laws. Basically, the audit consists of 3 stages. The first thing we do is review your financial policies and procedures, your internal controls, to determine whether they're designed appropriately for a business your size. When I say a business your size, your total revenue this past year was $51 million. Y'all are not a small business. The school board is a big business. We believe the design of the policies are appropriate. You have the proper review and approval processes throughout the finances. And then we perform tests to see if staff are complying with those processes. And we did not have any instances where the staff were not complying. The majority of it is going to be in payroll, your single biggest expenditure, and then regular disbursements and school accounts. But we look at all of it, but that's the major parts because that's where your major expenses are. So they're designed appropriately and your staff are complying with your policies based on our audit results. The second phase is compliance with laws and regulations. We're required by legislative auditor to review your compliance with state laws that govern accounting, auditing, allowable expenses, budget laws, bid laws, your equipment, your furniture, your fixtures, your investments, your cash management, and your bonds. We didn't have any instances in our test where y'all were not in compliance. So you were in compliance with everything that we tested from the state laws. Then under the federal programs, this year we looked at the Child Nutrition Program, the ESSER programs, and the Child Care and Development Program. The federal laws allow us to review the programs every 3 years. The major programs have to be looked at. These were the 3 we looked at this year. This is mainly to determine that the expenses charged to the grants are allowable under the federal guidelines, the reporting guidelines, and that the children served meet the eligibility guidelines. And based on our test, y'all were in compliance with these guidelines on everything that we had to test from a compliance standpoint. So then the third phase of the audit is auditing the financial statements prepared by your financial staff. And our audit opinion is that they are in compliance with the Governmental Accounting Standards Boards in all instances. As I stated earlier, the school board is a big business, $51 million total revenue for the year. The general fund had $38,102,000 in revenues. Its expenditures were $36,453,000. Net transfers $398,000, so it had a surplus of $2,046,000 for the year, resulted in an ending fund balance of $29,318,000, which is excellent financial position for a system your size. I can remember years ago, I'm sure Mr. Lewis and Ms. Urso, who've been here a long time, and we used to talk about trying to get fund balance to 10% of expenses, which would have been, $3 million, and now it's at $28 million. So y'all done really well. Major revenues. You basically have 4 revenues that account for 92% of all income. Your sales tax was $8,693,000, which was a $431,000 increase from the prior year. Property taxes, $8,318,000, which was a $293,000 increase. Your biggest single source is from the state of Louisiana, the MFP monies, $20,198,000, which was $63,000 more than the year before, basically flat. And then federal grants were $10,228,000, which was an increase of $1,359,000. Of course, the biggest thing there is that, the COVID money is going to start to go away. We've talked to Superintendent Dow. They 100% know what's going on. It's reflected in the future budgets. They know what they have to plan for as this money goes away. It's kind of ironic that 92% of your income, you basically have no control of whatsoever. You got to, whatever comes in, it is. Overall, the school system, this was a good audit. You're in compliance with the laws and regulations. Your financial policies and procedures are designed effectively, and your staff are following them, and you're in good financial shape. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Certainly can come back and answer any questions, but I just want to give an overall summary, because I don't think you want me to go through this 108-page document. If one, you'd fall asleep and we'd be here forever. But if anyone has questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Anybody, questions? No, sir. Thank you, Mr. Scheckschneider.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Congratulations to our accounting for a very, very well-received report.
Yeah, to receive zero incompliant statements, especially from staff and reporting everything day to day, no mistakes and incompliant, that's incredible to have a perfectly clean report. Congratulations. Yep, love it.
All right, under item B, approved proposal contract with Han Enterprises Incorporated to repair Napoleonville Primary School Head Start Playground. Need a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Abrams, second by Ms. Hood. All in favor? Aye. Item C, approve one-time retention stipend. Need a motion? Moved by Ms. Byers, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item D, receive December 2023 sales and use tax report.
Good evening.
Hello.
Sales tax report for December 31, 2023. Total returns processed 1,950. Monthly returns 1,189. Quarterly 54. Irregular returns 694. Semi-annual 13. Total number of online filers 1,847. Total receipts for the December 2023 collections are $1,312,092.42, an increase of $336,052.64 compared to prior year. That's a 34% increase. Total collections less audits, 21.12% increase, and less Office of Motor Vehicle and audits, 26% change. The board received $652,391.47, an increase of
$167,366.69 compared to the prior year. That's an increase of 35%. The 92 Bond Fund received $130,478.41, an increase of $33,473.64 compared to last year. That's a 35% increase. Delinquent rate for December 2023 is 5%. Industries that had an increase or decrease as compared to December of last year, an increase we saw in general merchandise, automotive, equipment, contractors, service, manufacturers, utilities, miscellaneous, and unclassified. Decreased were food and apparel. Audit revenues for the month of December 2023 were $141,475 compared to December 2022, $9,567.44. Automobile sales for December 23, $231,094.58 compared to prior year, $220,236.95. So that's up 4.93% compared to last year.
Any questions? Thank you, Darrell. Item E, approve out-of-state travel and a $50 per student stipend to assist Assumption High School cheerleaders with cost of competing at National High School Cheer Competition in Orlando, Florida. I need a motion.
Second.
Move on Ms. Byers. Second by Ms. Hood. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Very good. Under facilities, I'm sorry.
Anybody know when they're gonna be going on competition, they're going to Florida? Do you know when they're going?
Like February 9th, I think, or 10th.
Is that weekend?
Yeah, they compete, I think, the Saturday, and then they move forward to the Monday of Mardi Gras. So like February 10th, is the first day of competition. If they want to run,
Under facilities and grounds, approve the revised engineering specs and authorize the superintendent to advertise for bids for Assumption High School two-story building rehabilitation project. Move by Mr. Lewis, second by Ms. Orso. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Agenda item 8. Any comments and announcements?
I'd just like to say thank you to our maintenance department through this whole process of freeze. I know Mr. Dwayne is here. I could not thank your department, you, as well as your department enough for going out to the schools, fixing what would need to be fixed between frozen pipes and leaking pipes. His team worked tirelessly throughout the freeze, not just on when it was good days, but while it was cold and freezing and the weather was bad outside, he and his team went into the schools. And also, I want to commend our cafeteria leaders, our managers. I see Mr. Justin is here as well. Those ladies went out to make sure that their cafeterias, the supplies and everything in the cafeteria was still good, and it was actually be functional. So thank you to our maintenance department and also to our cafeteria workers.
I do want to say that we had a wonderful Assumption Parish 4-H livestock show this weekend. These kids are amazing at what they do, and I hope to see everybody. They also have a district show and a state show coming up. Thanks to Miss Margot Castro and all her team. It was a wonderful show. It was freezing, but it was a wonderful show.
I have one too. Something kind of funny today. If y'all were on Facebook at all today, you saw some posts flying around saying, of course I went to Assumption High, and then people would leave their own comments. It was funny reading through a lot of the comments and people telling stories, funny stories about teachers and experiences they had. And you also saw some of the negative things that have happened in the past in the parish too, that people are kind of bringing up and talking about. I'm proud to be a part of the board with y'all to kind of squash a lot of that stuff and move forward and make positive changes moving forward. But if you haven't seen that, there are some funny stories,
positive and
especially about a lot of the positive teacher stories and admin stories and trips and parties and sports and celebrations. So it was something lighthearted today online to talk about the school district and things. So that was fun to read.
All right. Need a motion to adjourn? Moved by Ms. Bowers, second by Mr. Abe. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.